I recommend we could go for something like this.
It's time once again then for qualifying here at Silverstone on what we're hoping will be a tight contest for pole position. I want to talk briefly about the strategy in these qualifying sessions. Anthony Davidson, how can a driver adjust their approach to gain those critical extra tenths of a second?
Well, qualifying isn't about adjusting your approach necessarily. It's more about trying to repeat a low fuel run that you've practiced prior to this session. You're looking for perfection on the lap, and that's hard to achieve if you're trying something new. There are some variables that can stand in your way, however. Track position or unexpected yellow flags, for example. Coupled with ever-changing track conditions, it's important to be out there at the right moment. But as a driver, you have to try and ignore these distractions and just keep your mind focused on that one perfect lap.
Okay, let's update the setup. Fastest lap? Good job. So far, our fastest lap is a 1 minute 29.4. To view information on your current levels of tyre wear and damage, press the MFD button to open the multifunction display, and then again to cycle to the tyres and damage screen. We're top of the speed trap, 203.5 miles per hour. We're positioned right where we thought we'd be. This is good. That's the fastest lap so far. Well done. So far, our fastest lap is a 1:29.1. Fantastic. That was the fastest lap.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top three today. Smith, Verstappen and Charles Leclerc. With qualifying wrapped up, we now have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
Well done. That was a good qualifying performance.
We're right back where it all began. The very first World Championship Grand Prix was held here at Silverstone in 1950, with Giuseppe Farina taking the top step of an all-Alfa Romeo podium. He earned 9 championship points that day on his way to the inaugural title. His winning total at the season's end, just 30 points. My, how times have changed. So let's see who can reach the top step of the modern podium today. The 3.6 miles of the Silverstone circuit in Great Britain is hallowed ground to the Formula One faithful. We have 18 corners that wrap around this former World War II airbase and some good passing opportunities at the end of the DRS zones. Joining me for today's race once again is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Smith. They're still relatively new to a sport which does have a high learning curve and, of course, little tolerance for mistakes.
And this is something that has ended the career of many a young driver, as that leap up to Formula One proves to be too much. But luckily in this case I'd say they're doing a good solid job, and the risk the team took in signing them is definitely starting to pay off.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Smith lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Vettel, Alexander Albon, and Hülkenberg, Hamilton, Ricciardo, Butler, and Lando Norris. Sainz, Magnussen, Kimi Raikkonen, and Grosjean, Stroll, Bottas, Sergio Perez, and George Russell. Kvyat and Lucas Weber completes the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, remember to protect the inside on the run down to turn 1. Make yourself as wide as possible, robust but fair. Okay, go through all the gears if you can. We need to make sure the engagement is okay before the start. We're going to want to put some temperature into the tyres and brakes. We need to keep the engine cool though, so don't go too high with the revs. Expected for the time being. rest of the grid is forming up, be patient and watch for the lights. That's a decent start. Good job. Officials have enabled DRS. DRS is now available. Somewhere on the MGUK. To manage this, we need to lower our ERS deployment load. charge speed is suffering, and if it gets much worse, we could be forced to retire. Reducing our overall capacity. The more charge you hold, the faster that capacity will drop. Teammate behind is 13.5 seconds. Charge is low. If we turn down the ERS deployment, we can harvest more energy. Virtual safety car, reduce speed immediately and keep a positive delta. Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace. VSC ending, we're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags. Okay, clear. Yellow flag. Stop to go. One stop left in this strategy. You have 4 laps till your pit window opens. You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 per lap. problems. Reduce ERS deployment. Right, tyre situation. We're good for the time being, but you are going to start to notice the wear, so make sure it doesn't catch you out. Now, one stop left, your pit window opens in 2 laps' time. This lap. You've lost some time to the car behind. This set of tyres is pretty much spent, I think. You should be able to bring a bit more out, but it won't be long before they fall away from you entirely. Box, box, box. flight strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Valtteri is in for his stop. The gap to the car ahead is 1.9 seconds. Some energy harvesting, reduce ERS deployment. Verstappen behind. The gap behind us is 2.2 seconds. They're on fresh hards. Their tyres are 1 lap old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 57.5. Teammate by 22.9 seconds. seconds. They're on fresh hards. Their tyres are 2 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:34.3. Verstappen behind. Our gap behind is 3.5 seconds. They're on fresh hards. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. 12 laps to go. Expecting rain in around 10 to 15 minutes. Some information on Verstappen. They seem to have an issue. Verstappen is behind you. Okay, the gap behind is 4.0 seconds. They're on fresh hards. Their tyres are 4 laps old. They have some kind of mechanical problem. The time last lap was a 1 minute 33.8. Valtteri's P7 at the moment. The difference is 22.8 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. The time last lap was a 1:33.7. behind you. The gap behind us is 9.3 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 7 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 34.4. Seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 8 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:33.9. That's a new fastest lap for the race. cars in just over 10 minutes time. Rain in 10 minutes. It seems they fixed whatever the problem was and coming back up to speed. Our gap behind is 10.6 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 11 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 33.5. Teammate behind is 21.5 seconds. We're leading our teammate by 21.0 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're in 5th. The time last lap was a 1:33.1. Of fuel remaining. Okay, looks like you're running on some slightly warm rubber at this point. You should still have a fair amount of grip left, but be mindful, it's going to start falling away. Position, front of the pack, Leclerc behind. Okay, the gap behind is 11.6 seconds. They're on old mediums. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Just 3 laps to go now. 3 laps. Out on this set of boots. We have started to notice some wear. We should be okay for a bit longer though. is dropping back by about 3/10 a lap. Radar suggests some weather is going to hit in around 5 minutes time, so stay on your toes. Dries seem like the fastest tyre at the moment. Reduce the ERS deployment, please. We need to charge the battery. There's only one lap of fuel remaining. This is your final lap of the race. Expecting the rain to hit us any time now. Leclerc is behind you. The gap behind us is 12.4 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 15 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 33.1. That's a race win and your second race win in a row. Fantastic job.
And Mercedes have pulled off a great victory here today. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, tyre management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes. Let's see what effect this result has had on the drivers' standings. Well, the gap at the top of the championship has been cut down after a difficult race today for our championship leader. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
It's got to be Valtteri Bottas, a commanding performance that I think had the audience's eyes glued to him for the majority of the race.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. You took the top points today. Was it a comfortable win? It looks like you've really been focusing on research and development this season. Great. Well, that's everything.
What do you think of this one?